Hi everybody. So thank you for being willing to watch these videos about the about this idea of transitioning into a deeper understanding of the vocation of Catholic tradition, of moving from being what we might call radical traditionalists to being a tradical, where we are reaching out from tradition to bring in those ideologies that are on the margins into an authentic integration, so that we can rebuild the church. So, one of the things that is deeply disturbing to traditionalists is the normal Mass celebrated in the Catholic churches. In many ways, it can feel like a profanation of the sacred. I mean, I remember I would see, and I'm just admitting how I would see it, so we can, not trying to encourage you to see it this way, but I'm admitting that I saw, poorly done music, rather than ancient and reverent music, an ordinary liturgy rather than an extraordinary one. That's how I looked at it. And I think that the problem is that the false understanding of Vatican II is in all areas of our life to have a pervasive call, and I'll explain this. Because the thing is, it's a pervasive call, but the best place to look at this, not as necessarily the liturgy, but in religious orders. Because the thing is, we have a pervasive call to ordinariness, rather than the universal call to holiness. Because the thing is, for example, in religious orders, there was a big movement to have people get rid of having a habit. You get rid of the outfits. Yeah, maybe there's somewhere that might be a good idea. Or it might be some times when we might need to have it on. But what happened is you get a pervasive call to ordinariness. And it doesn't mean that everybody did this for the wrong reasons. We don't know the reasons why this happened in people's hearts. But what we could see is a movement toward ordinariness. And that's not attractive to anybody. Nobody joins being a nun or a monk to be ordinary. So this false spirit of Vatican II is a pervasive call to ordinariness. The true spirit of Vatican II is a universal call to holiness. The laity should have started to look like the monks and the nuns, not the monks and the nuns starting to look like the laity. And I think these things are happening at the same time. So whereas the profanation of the sacred might be a bad work, the sanctifying of the ordinary is a good work. And I believe that it is the great task of the Holy Church in the post-conciliar, post-Vatican II age. And I think that even if we look at the Mass, if we look at the Novus Ordo, maybe there's a way in which we could look at that as a means of sanctifying the ordinary. It's possible to do so in a reverent way, to do these more ordinary actions in a reverent way. And I don't believe that the Novus Ordo has a less of an emphasis on sacrifice. A lot of people will say that. I think the Novus Ordo repeatedly talks about sacrifice. How many times are we presented with the body of Christ in this sacrificial poses, throughout the whole liturgy? Deeply sacrificial in my sense, looking at it. But the thing is that, there's a lot of ways in which, you can say, there's these things that, we can look at these problems in the church and say, okay, maybe we have some problems here in terms of okay, maybe there's something authentic. It's a work of God through Vatican II. Maybe there's something that's the work of not such good stuff. Just like the crucifixion. God is at work, and various enemy forces are at work in various ways. The thing is that we want to realize there's good in Vatican II. There's good in these things. And that can help us to understand what's going on and what we're seeing.